Hello dear students, welcome to Devika's Commerce and Management Academy. In auditing, we are entering into one of the important chapter, that is OCHing. Yes, OCHing is one of the important chapter. You know that any auditor does his duties with a proof, with a documentary written proof. Without that, blindly he cannot go for auditing. So that documentary written proof, we call it as a voucher. There are different types of vouchers. Like when we purchase the goods, when we sell the goods, definitely there will be a voucher. When we are purchasing, purchase receipt will be there. When we are selling, there is a receipt will be there. In the same way, when we are issuing the goods, voucher will be there. When we are purchasing, there will be a voucher. And in the same way, not a voucher means not only just purchasing and selling, any kind of written documents like company meetings and minutes of the meeting, and also any kind of resolutions taken by the company, everything, rules and regulation, everything comes under the vouchers only. So voucher is a written document. With this written document only, the auditor is going to do the auditing work. It is one of the important technique of doing the auditing work with OCHing. So this is the technique every auditor uses. Without this, you can't do any kind of auditing. Now today in this class, we are going to discuss different types of vouchers and also what are the objects of OCHing. Okay. So what is the meaning of OCHing? You got it? It's a written document evidence. Supported evidence, you can say. With this evidence only, with this document, with this proof, the auditor does his auditing work. Okay. Now we will see first types of vouchers, different types of vouchers. Mainly the types of vouchers are divided into two parts. One is supporting vouchers and accounting vouchers. Supporting vouchers means whenever you have any kind of transaction, this transaction is considered as supporting voucher. This is going to give you a proof. In supporting vouchers, we have two kinds of vouchers. This is divided into two parts: internal supportive vouchers and external supporting vouchers. Internal supporting vouchers means these vouchers are prepared by the staff itself only. Internal staff are going to prepare these vouchers. Any transaction has taken place, like issuing of the material or giving a cash to someone. So this everything is prepared by the internal staff members only. So that is why we say it as the internal supportive vouchers. Whereas external supportive vouchers, these vouchers comes from outside. These people, internal people, will not prepare this. These vouchers are from outside. Say purchasing goods from outside, that is the voucher comes from outside, that is supportive. External supportive, we are not preparing internally. Internally cash is transferred from one place to another place, then that is internal supportive voucher. External is from outside. Are you getting it? So that is supporting vouchers. Now second part, supporting is the first part, you can say Roman number 1, and here Roman number 2, part 2 you can say. So that is accounting vouchers, only related to the accounts. There are different kinds of vouchers. So this accounting vouchers can be divided into two parts. One is cash vouchers, non-cash vouchers. Cash vouchers means which are related to only cash transactions. Cash is transferred from one place to another place. Purchasing goods, purchasing furniture, and payment of wages, payment of electricity, payment of auditor fee, payment of wages, payment of salaries, payment of advertising expenses, anything payments related to the cash, any cash received, everything comes under the cash vouchers. Any cash transaction, cash voucher. This is second one is non-cash vouchers. There is no cash is not involved, but voucher is there. Example you can take like goods returned. Is there any cash involved? No, cash is not involved. This you can take it as example. In the same way, provided depreciation, cash is there? No. In the same way, bad debts created, bad debts, okay. So that is also cash is not involved. So these kind of examples I have given you, non-cash vouchers. Cash is not involved, but vouchers are there, okay. That is related to the accounting vouchers. Now in cash vouchers we can divide into two parts. One is debit vouchers and credit vouchers. Debit vouchers means when we purchase any goods, that is debit vouchers. This is related to the purchases. And here in non-cash vouchers, I forgot to tell you one more important thing. When we are purchasing goods on credit basis, either you are purchasing or selling. So this is non-cash transaction. We are selling, we are purchasing, but it is credit. Now here cash vouchers, debit vouchers, purely cash basis purchases. I am paying the cash and purchasing goods, purchasing assets. That is debit vouchers. In the same way, credit vouchers, this is related to the sales. When we are selling the goods, when we are selling the assets, and there is also one voucher is available. That voucher we say it as a credit voucher. Am I clear? Easy to remember? Well, let me give you in a nutshell. Types of vouchers are, one is supportive vouchers, accounting vouchers. Supportive vouchers, internal supporting, external supporting. Supporting is over. Now accounting, cash, non-cash. Non-cash, as I gave you examples. Cash vouchers, credit and debit vouchers, both are there. Simple, easy to remember. Now we will see what are the objects of vouching. What are the objects? Why do we want to go for the vouching? What are the main objects? Mainly 6 points you have to remember. First point is that to check and verify the documentary evidence. To check and verify the documentary evidence provided in support of the transactions recorded in the books. In the books, some transactions are there, accounting related. Each and every transaction you have to see documentary evidence is there or not. So that is what we are saying. To check and verify the documentary evidence provided in support of the transactions recorded in the books. In books, whatever transactions are there, every transaction, it has to provide the documentary proof. This is the main first object. Second one is that to properly record all the transactions in the books of accounts, to properly record, every transaction has to properly record. Suppose say, in the first one we said we have to check the documentary evidence. Second object we are saying that it has to properly record it. Example I will give you. Purchase some assets for the company point of view. I have purchased. It is not recorded. Not recorded. Not recorded means where is the question of checking these vouchers? That is misplaced, that is misused. That is why every transaction, whether it is recorded or not, you have to check it, right? When you check that it is recorded, then secondary thing comes that whether it is supporting the voucher or not. Am I clear? So that is why to properly record all the transactions in the books of accounts, okay, recording is important. Then we can go for the documentary verification. Third thing is that to confirm the books of accounts are free from frauds, manipulations, mistakes. In accounts, whatever is recorded, all the transactions are free from frauds, manipulations, mistakes. Any kind of frauds are there, manipulations are there, mistakes are there, that they have to catch it. While watching, while verifying each and every transaction with documentary proof, they'll come to know if any mistakes are there, if any frauds are there, if something is manipulated, then they'll come to know. That they have to find out in watching, okay. Next, fourth object is that to process the vouchers through various stages. This vouchers, to process the vouchers through various stages of internal check system. In internal check system, this process, it has to go to various stages wise, step wise. Step number 1, for example, step number 1, transaction has taken place, remembering it, identifying it. Step number 2, recording the transaction. Step number 3, does it supporting the evidence or not, like various things you have to step by step you have to go this vouching in internal check system. And next object is that to support the vouchers with legally valid proofs. Support these vouchers with legally valid proofs means simply something is provided, it's not going to work out. Legally it has to give the proper proof that voucher, whatever is supporting document is there, it should be valid, it must be correct, it must be true, it must not be manipulated. So all these things also we have to consider it to support the vouchers with legally valid proofs in terms of accuracy, promptness, and also authenticity. Authenticity means proper authority has to be duly signed, that kind of authenticity which is required, accuracy and authenticity. Okay, so this is another object. And last object is that to confirm the level of accuracy, maintained while to confirm the level of accuracy maintained while totaling and carrying forward. Not only just evidence, last we have to consider even that level of accuracy while totaling. Total is how much it is. Suppose say 1 lakh, 1 lakh is the total. By mistake 1 zero is missing. Then what happens? In place of 1 lakh we will be writing 10,000. That makes lot of difference. That is why totaling also we have to check, and also carrying forward from one account to another account. When we wanted to carry forward, does it carrying forward properly or not? Suppose a previous account, it was 75,000, carry forward. Now this year or this month account, carry forward to carry down to carry brought down. Okay, we'll write it in the accounts like this now. Carry down and brought down. So this is carry forward amount. One account, suppose say cash book, we'll see. Carry forward amount is suppose say 75,000, and this was the last month. This month it must be brought down 75,000 only. Say for example we are writing 78,000 or otherwise 76, 72, some figure but not exactly 75. Then that's a mistake. While watching, we have to consider such kind of transactions also, not only just documentary evidence. Totaling, carry forward, brought down, all these things also part of the vouching. So that is what we are saying, last object of vouching. Am I clear? Introduction you got it? First take a screenshot or note down. In the coming class, we'll discuss more about vouching. And by the way, did you understand? Whenever you come to my class, please write it in the comment box how you are following it. Is it useful? And any kind of your views, I just want to read. Please write it in the comment box. And if you like the lecture, please don't forget to forward these talks, because everything is free of cost for the student community. Check out the playlist or description box for more subjects which already prepared for you all. Use it, forward it, and have a bright career. When you get a success, don't forget to share with me. Stay connected. Good luck.